You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Hello and welcome to Living Full Out Show. My name is Nancy Solari, and today we're talking about turning your pain into purpose. Now, I really want us to think about that because we've all had a hardship in our life. Maybe it was financial, maybe it was a relationship and you have a broken heart, or maybe you've gone through an accident and you've had to rehabilitate and get back on track and feeling better. Whatever it is, you have the ability to take that time in your life, that pain, that frustration, and pay it forward and bring purpose into your life and being able to make someone else's life easier. So that is what we're focusing on today. Of course, I'll be taking your calls. That number is 800-333-0001. Also, in our next segment, you want to stay tuned for Lisa Scarcar-Cartelli. And she's going to share with us how about 9 years old, she had 50% of her body burnt due to an accident, an explosion. So how did she rebound from that and turn her life into being very purposeful? We'll hear from her. And most of all, if you need any resources on today's show or coaching or, just a sounding board or anything we can do to help get you to that other side, that is what we're here for, whether it be in the capacity of the show or just reaching out to us at Living Full Out. That email address would be connect@livingfullout.com, and we'll make sure to get you the support you need. Now, I'm getting word for our producer that we do have a caller on the line. We're going to go say hello to them. Hi, welcome to Living Full Out Show.
Hi there, this is Elise.
Hi, Elise. How can I help you today?
We had to put my daughter's dog down. It was very unexpected. She wasn't even a year old when we put the dog down. And my daughter's 9. This was her first pet. And so she's having some difficulty moving on from it. And I just want to know if you've got some ways that I can help my daughter to accept this and move on.
Yeah, that is so hard. Let me ask you another question, too, just so I know where you're going with this whole thing. Do you see yourself getting another pet at some point?
I'm not sure. So in order to put the dog down, we had, there were lots of promises about, yes, we will get another dog, we will get another dog. But since we've put her down, one of the things that we did was we've been putting together puzzles, her uncle and I, and her. And it's like 1,000-piece puzzles. And so what we decided is we'll put this puzzle together, and when we're done with this puzzle, we'll just ask everyone, is everyone, are we ready to get another dog? And we've put 4 puzzles together now, and at the end of each puzzle, she says, no, she's not ready. So I truly want to respect that. I wonder if she's going to be ready for another dog.
Well, and you know what? This is actually, that is so mature of her at 9 years old. And the other thing too is has she lost anybody else from passing away other than the dog before, a family member or a friend?
No, she hasn't.
Okay.
She did. My sister, we had to put my sister's very old cat down last year. She had knew the cat, but it wasn't someone that was really important to her,
Got it. So, as adults, we can kind of process things differently. First of all, number one, kudos to you, Mom. You're on the right track with the puzzle, right? I think that's genius. And everybody listening today, that is a great idea. But second to that, I think it's really important to kind of always remember our pets and having something that she can hold on to. And we do that with people too. I know when my dad passed away, I have a favorite shirt, a Seahawks shirt, and I can pull that out from time to time and hug it. It's like I'm hugging my dad. Or we had a pet that passed away one time, and I got to keep the collar. And it has the little tag on it still. And I don't know, when I hold that collar, it just feels loving. And I don't hold it every day or anything, but it's just a nice little memento to have. So if there's anything that she can have that from time to time when she's sad, that's special. I think it's always important. Depends if people are, of faith or not of faith, but I think it's important to let them know. Well, now they can have all the biscuits and all the treats they want. The dog no longer has to watch their weight, right? Kind of add a little humor to it, because humor is truly the best medicine. So I think if you can match something personal. Like, I don't know if you've gotten rid of everything or not, or maybe if there's still a toy and, you say, you know what, whenever you miss your doggy.
Collar.
Okay, the collar, I would give that to her. I would say, here's her collar. Whenever you feel sad, you just hold the collar and the dog will be there in spirit, or, find some ways to add humor and still feel free to celebrate the dog's birthday or do something to remember her and do something fun. And then see how it goes between the puzzles, obviously. But I think you're 100% on the right track. And I'm so proud of you as a mom. That's a tough situation, but I think that you are outstanding for how you're doing it. So feel good about that. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Much. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you for calling in.
You as well. Okay.
And I love that she asked that question, right? Because we're talking today about turning pain into purpose. So, even taking the loss of a pet, even if you don't get a new pet, you might be able to volunteer, maybe at a rescue, or, down the line when they do get another pet, maybe it is a rescue and they're able to take the fact they don't have that other dog anymore and now adopt a new dog and give that one a home. So I think it's always just seeing how we can take the pain in our life and bring it into something brighter. Now I'm getting more of our producer. We have another caller on the line. We'll say hello to them. Hi, welcome to Living Full Out Show.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for calling. How can we help you?
I have a question about studying abroad.
Mm-hmm. And what is your question?
I'm
when are you leaving? Are you leaving soon? Okay. For some reason, I'm having a hard time hearing you. But so you're leaving soon, and where are you going? Oops, I think we've lost that caller. So when we get them back, our producer will let us know, and we'll bring them back on the show. Anyway, so when we talk today about turning pain into purpose, that's kind of the overall theme. But what I want everybody to think about during the course of the show is what is something that you're dealing with right now, right? Where is that kink in the chain? Again, it could be a heart stress. You miss somebody, you had a breakup recently and you feel this void, or maybe it's financial and you're like, I don't even know how to get myself back on track. Or, maybe it's feeling as though life is going in circles and you're wondering, I don't know even what I'm supposed to do in life anymore. I mean, we've all been there, right? I'm going to raise my hand. The thing is, I want you to slow down. And I think that a lot of times when we fester, when we're sad, when we're angry, when we're worried, our mind goes to places that are very anxious. And it's kind of like taking a soda can, shaking it up, popping that top. What happens? You explode. You might not explode today. You might not even explode next week, but something will just trigger you and it'll just make you spiral. We want to catch you before you get to that point. So when you can identify, what is the pain? Okay, got it. Now I know what my pain is. Then figuring out what resources do I need? Who can I turn to who might be able to give me ideas, who might be able to be empathetic or help my heart? I mean, trust me, I definitely reach out to a lot of people in my world. Sometimes it's other coaches, sometimes it's, experts of different kinds, because we don't always have the answers. And I'm actually, again, getting word from our producer that our caller is back. So let's see if we have the answers for her. Hi, welcome to Living Full Out Show.
Hi, can you hear me now?
I sure can. So I understand you're going abroad. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to Sydney, Australia on Tuesday.
Okay. And so how can I help you today? What challenge are you facing?
So I don't know anyone going, and I really want to feel excited, anxious about it. So I was wondering if you had any advice or anything on what I should do.
You know what? First of all, I'm so proud of you for going, because it is kind of scary, and it's hard to sometimes make the arrangements in life where we plug ourselves out of our normal community and obligations and we take that time. I was actually an exchange student in Japan, so I can tell you that package the worries away. Just know that the risk is the what if, right? What if I don't go? You know, you never want to live a life of regrets. And so that's very living full out of you. So I would just go for it and just embrace every possible experience you can. But I thank you so much for calling in. And for everybody today, when we're talking about tapping into that purpose, just like our last caller, maybe it means that we have to get out of our current environment, travel somewhere new, you know, meet other people that can give us resources. That's what it means when you take your pain and turn it into purpose. So stay with us. We're going to be coming right back with our inspirational guest. This is the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hi, professional skateboarder Tony Hawk here with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck to remind you to get moving every day.
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
you'll have the energy to skate through anything.
Nice play on words, Doc.
That's how I roll, Bugs. So whether you like to work the half pipe,
now that's catching air,
kick the soccer ball around, or dance in your room,
just move it your way.
For an hour a day.
The way you like to move, as long as you're moving.
Carve out some time every day and get active. Because it's time to do a 180 on what you think exercise is.
Because it can be whatever you want it to be. So be a player.
Be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day, Doc. Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov.
Head online to get tips on great ways to get moving every day.
At www.letsmove.gov. Let's hear that one more time, Doc. That's www.letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and HHS.
I'm Nancy Solari, Certified Life and Business Coach. I want to invite you to the Personal Development Boot Camp. During the boot camp, we're going to be looking at taking those insecurities that you have and getting rid of them. We're also going to look at ways in which you can thrive and live a life full of purpose. Go to livingfullout.com/bootcamp, livingfullout.com/bootcamp to sign up. I believe in you, and here's to you living your life full out.
I'm Sarah, and this is my story.
I'm Ellen, and this is my story.
One night, I was at a bar.
I
was having fun with my friends.
I
had one too many drinks.
I
got behind the wheel to go home.
I got a cab to go home.
All of a sudden, from out of nowhere, a squirrel ran across the road. It happened so quickly, I barely had time to react.
The cabbie barely had time to react.
I swerved.
The cab swerved.
I can't believe it. I hit a guy.
I cannot believe it. The cabbie just missed a guy.
I wish I took a cab.
Thank goodness I took a cab.
You have the choice to save a life. Don't drive buzzed. It's a decision you'll never regret. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food than we know what to do with in this country, yet 17 million kids in America are struggling with hunger. Makes no sense. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Hey, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America in your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
If you think depression is all in a person's head, you're right. It's a brain illness. And like other illnesses, it has symptoms. Depression can make those who suffer from it feel hopeless. It can even lead to suicide. Learn how to stop depression from taking another life. Call SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, 1-888-511-SAVE, on the web at save.org.
I'm Alec Baldwin. Like any parent, I'm concerned about children's health. Many kids don't eat as they should and are at risk for long-term health problems like diabetes and heart disease. But here's good news. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and other low-fat vegetarian foods can protect our kids and keep the rest of the family healthy too. For a free booklet, call the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine at 1-877-685-KIDS or visit www.kidsgethealthy.org.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. With Nancy's expertise, you'll learn how to embrace your potential and strive for success. If you have a question or need further support, send us an email at connect@livingfullout.com. Now, here's Nancy.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about taking pain and turning that into purpose. And how do you do that? Well, we have brought you an inspirational guest today who has really lived full out in a big way and has tapped into a lifelong purpose, really building her legacy. Her name is Lisa Cartelli. Sorry about that. And the thing about Lisa, which is so interesting, is at 9 years old, she had 50% of her body burnt due to an explosion. And I just want to take that in because at 9 years old, that's a lot to take. That's a lot to handle. But yet she went on to pay it forward and to make other children feel whole, feel loved, feel wanted, despite any scars they may have. And so I'm truly excited to welcome her to the show. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Nancy. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. And, it's just amazing to me, the full circle that you've had here. And we're going to get to it over the course of our next two segments. But I want to go back in time to when you were 9. Here you are in the basement, you're playing hide and go seek with your cousin, and, everybody loves that game, right?
Right.
Now, when the furnace exploded, I know that you were near that, right? Mm-hmm. Did it like literally blow you off your feet? Like, what happened there? Because it's very interesting how you later ended up in this garden rolling around trying to put the fire out. But how do you go from a basement to a garden?
Yeah, so we were down in the basement, and as soon as I was counting and she was hiding, and as soon as I was nearing 3, 2, 1, is a tremendous roar happened. And a fireball pretty much came out from the point of ignition, which was the hot water tank. So the whole house, like seconds before, everything elevated. It was a very odd sort of energy that was in the room. And then when that massive explosion happened, everything was destroyed. Walls upstairs were flipped over and leaning against the home. The roof blew off. The people upstairs, my family, there were 7 upstairs, were blown outside and across the street, and so they didn't sustain the burns. But for myself and my cousin, I had sustained the burns. That was the closest point to the point of ignition because my grandparents had been smelling gas for a few days. So the leak was happening over the course of 2 or 3 days.
Well, and let's take this as a lesson, everybody listening. When you smell gas, it is no joke. I mean, that is something you got to get checked out ASAP. And so when you landed in that garden. And do you remember, I mean, obviously it was years ago, but I mean, it might even feel just like yesterday. I mean, do you remember feeling pain? Or at that point, were you in so much anxiety?
I actually crawled out through the rubble, I remember so clearly, through a white light that was shining into a hole, on a hole, that I just kept going to the light. Now, was it snow because it was December? I don't know. So I went towards the light, and I remembered that you have to roll in dirt if you catch on fire. I was told this 2 weeks prior in school by one of the nuns. So I knew where the dirt was the garden, and that's where I headed, and just rolled in that garden. Yeah, the pain was tremendous.
Wow. Now, at 9 years old, when did you learn about all of your injuries? Did people hold off on telling you? Did you know right away?
Well, I kept getting transported that day to bigger hospitals. And then I was out for a few days completely. So waking up in that unit, bandaged pretty much from head to toe, I thought, my God, what the heck happened?
Yeah.
That's when my childhood really was stripped from me at that moment on. You've got to make that decision deep in your heart to, okay, I need to survive this.
Lisa, did you feel on your own in some ways? I know you had a very loving family, a big family, but, you know, I also know that your family had a hard time figuring out how to help you, how to talk about it. And for anybody listening today who maybe has somebody in their life who's gone through a trauma like, not like yours, but something so extraordinary, what could they have done differently to comfort you?
Well, I think when a trauma happens, the family is impacted as well. You know, maybe one person could be injured, but the entire family is so wounded at that point. And mine was no different, that they didn't have the skills to deal with it. A lot of their coping skills was through humor, which was magnificent in itself. You know, but there's a time when you have to process that pain. So yes, the isolation is incredible. And as a child, you end up stuffing all that because you want to protect the family.
Right.
You love your mother, father, that you don't want to inflict any more pain on them. So you build a resilience in you. What
is that moment like when you saw your burns for the first time, that you saw like how in depth it was and what needed to be done?
Yeah, as far as what needed to be done, that was way out of my league. But seeing myself in the mirror for the first time was, wow. You know, the only thing I could really recognize was my eyes.
And they had been protected because you covered them during the game, thankfully.
Right. Yes, and that's why the back of my hands are so burned. And so it was a powerful moment when you suddenly see yourself mauled and scarred, and you know, you just start living moment by moment at that point.
Yeah, it's just really wild, because when trauma happens, when people are teenagers or 20s or 30s or beyond, you know, sometimes they have bouts with like suicide or I want to give up, but you're 9. Like, does a 9-year-old want to give up? Or does a 9-year-old think it's all going to get better?
I think it's a little bit of both, Nancy. You know, I think I know for me, I kind of vacillated between where I had really difficult days and moments, and going back to school was tough, and the rejection is tough. But then I would swing back to the other, going, okay, I got through this for a reason. I passed through that hell to come out the other side for some sort of reason.
Well, and I love that, because we're talking today about turning pain into purpose, and like I told our audience, you're an excellent example of that. So I want you to stay with us. We're going to go to a break. But everybody listening, I mean, this is obviously Lisa's story, but I want you all to think about where in your life you can take the hurt that you're feeling, the frustration, and find a way that roll that into something that is happy, that is giving, that is a legacy that you can leave behind. So stay with us, Lisa, and everybody listening. I'm Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show. We'll be coming right back, talking about turning your purpose from pain into something excellent. We'll be back.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari.
There are many sounds in your day-to-day life. There are sounds that wake you up. Sounds that make you smile. Sounds that energize you. And sounds that help you relax. But there are some sounds that can alert you to danger and can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you information about severe weather events, Amber Alerts, or other emergencies in your area. With critical information from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know, wherever you are. For more information, visit ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey, but people in this town call me Maniac. They call me that because I'm the fastest runner in town. But just because everyone knows who I am doesn't mean I belong. I don't really belong anywhere. You see, I'm an orphan, and I wander the streets just looking for a place that I can truly call home. My name is Maniac McGee, and I'm all alone. Explore new worlds. Read my story in the novel Maniac McGee by Jerry Spinelli. For other great book ideas, visit your local library or log on to literacy.gov. Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Look for the bare necessities.
The bare necessities of healthy living are easier than you think.
You better believe it.
And the food pyramid shows you the way. With just the right amount of exercise and the necessary grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, and meats and beans.
Just the bare necessities of life.
So eat right, be active, and have fun.
Yeah, man.
For your own path to a healthier you, visit mypyramid.gov.
This is really living.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Nancy Solari, host of the Living Full Out Show. I am excited to let you know that we are now associated with Alexa. If you have Alexa in your house and you didn't know that, go ahead and find Living Full Out because you can hear us anytime you want, and we're there for you to keep you motivated. Go to your app store because we're located there as well. Just look for the Living Full Out radio show. It's important to us that we put out really inspiring programming, but we want to make sure that you have it at your fingertips when you need us most. We never know when those challenges are going to come, when we're going to feel lonely and need that motivation. So just know that when you need us, we're here for you. Check out Alexa, the app stores, or go to livingfullout.com. Here's to you living full out.
What if I could tell you that a full-blown wildfire was going to occur tomorrow right where you live? Tell you exactly which neighborhoods it would engulf and how fast it would do it. The first thing you would do is talk with your loved ones and make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a wildfire will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you make a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about turning pain into purpose. And we have brought you quite an inspirational guest, Elise Cartelli, and she's sharing with us about how at 9 years old, she was burned on by 50% of her body due to a gas explosion. So she's sharing with us how she has taken that pain and made a really strong legacy out of it. So I'd like to welcome Lisa back to the show.
Thank you, Nancy.
Now, Lisa, I want to touch on something that I think is just really quite interesting. And I think sometimes it's ironic is really the word I'm looking for. So here you are, you're going through your early years, 9, teenage years, you're going through all these surgeries, you're dealing with being bullied by other classmates due to your looks. But then there was a time when you decided, I'm tired of being afraid of fire. I'm tired of being alerted when I go to a gas station or a barbecue, and you decided to take your power back. Can you share with us about that decision and what you did and why you chose to do that?
Yes, I at the time I had started a burn camp, and I was standing there telling one of the boys up on the up on the ropes course, don't be afraid, just feel your fear, do it anyways. And saying that and then feeling inside, well, I'm still afraid of fire. Doesn't control me, but it really gnaws at me where I would avoid certain things, like living in a home with natural gas. And so I wanted to face my fire. I wanted to go back in to a control burn and face the fire with the wisdom as a woman, not the scared little girl I was in that basement, trapped in that basement. And so as the universe would have it, I met a firefighter who, a random meeting at a conference, who offered to take me back into a fire. I had not, told anybody I wanted to do this. I just really wanted, I felt that if I could go back and I could face the fire and I could face the angels that rescued me, hopefully see them, and my life would get better. So,
I love that you did that, and as I understand it, you had a couple of attempts that weren't successful, and then on your third attempt, you were able to put that fire out. And what is that sense of freedom like to know that you've been able to let that go?
It's like looking at the monster under the bed, and facing the fear. And I think we all have fears, and for me, it just peeled a couple of crusty layers on my heart off. Mm-hmm. And I was able to just sigh. I was able to go, okay, that was pretty cool. That was a gift that will stay with me the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's not feeling like a victim. It's taking control and power back over something.
Well, and I know that you and that handsome fireman, you went on to actually get married, of all things.
Yeah.
That was quite the conference.
Exactly. Which was really a crazy thing. Yeah. For 2 years, we had dated afterwards, and I looked at him and I was in awe of the courage that he had to do that, every day, day in and day out. And he looked at me in awe of the resilience and the bravery that I had to live every day with full, heart-centered and having the courage to go back into the fire. So, yeah, we've been married 23 years.
Wow. I also find it very interesting. I am legally blind, and so there was a time in my life where I tried to not look so blind or be so blind, and in dating, it was always hard to tell somebody, hey, I might lose my vision in a couple of years. Is that a problem? Right? Sometimes it's hard. And for me, people can't see blindness, but for you, they could see your scars. Yeah. And I know that you would put makeup on. You would do everything you could to hide it. But there was this day at the beach where the water washed away all your makeup. And you were like, oh, no, this is it. He's departing, right? This is not going to work out. But he stayed with you. And what did that mean to you?
Well, he called me the next day, and that spoke volumes. Because typically, when the makeup washes off and the reality of it, you don't get that third or fourth day. And when he called me the next day, I went, okay, this is worth an investment of my time. I mean, that he didn't call for something just to say, it was great spending time with you yesterday, and, when can I see you again? And that was a real test.
Well, and I think that gives hope to a lot of people, because I think a lot of times people feel like a divorce defines them, or a lack of a career defines them, or, a disability defines them. And the thing is the right person, in this case him, will look beyond those flaws, scars, whatever you want to call them, and they'll see the true you. And that's what happened there. Now, we're talking today about turning pain into purpose. And you decided to help other little girls, and boys too, but mainly little girls who had been through what you had. Can you share with us about Angel Faces?
Yes, I started it about 16 years ago. I run intensive retreats for adolescent girls and now young women with burn or traumatic injuries that have left them disfigured. So it's 7 days. We teach them a lot about how to handle unwanted questions or when people are staring, how to build back that hope and strip away the label that we end up with, particularly coming out of the medical, medical facilities, that I teach them that they are not a burn survivor, that they are way more than that. Their daughters and their sisters and maybe they're good tennis players and maybe they're good artists. Do they have an experience with a burn? You bet they do. But to not let that define them, like you were saying, Nancy, being blind, people can't really see that off the bat. So you have, mechanisms to overcome that. But teaching the girls that they are more than their injury, that people are more than what has happened to them. Can they draw on that experience? Oh, you bet. Can they find the gift in the tragedy? Because I don't think we see the gifts in our tragedy, but they are laced with gifts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And the thing is a lot of people face bullying these days as adults, maybe more so in social media, or maybe if it's competitive at the office or something like that. But, you encountered it when you were a little girl, being called monster or Scarface. And then even that moment with your now husband on the beach, worried that he wouldn't want to stay with you. And for the people listening today who have physical scars or even emotional scars, what do you tell them in terms of standing strong?
When I acted like a victim, I got treated like a victim. And when I acted young, when I was younger, and when I acted strong and centered and happy, that's how people treated me. And there's a very short response to that of standing tall and looking people in the eye and smiling. And then once that happens and they see that, then you quickly move on to a subject or the weather or other things. But if you leave your door in the morning feeling dark and feeling shallow and solemn, and that's how people are going to treat you. And it's so simple and clear that you attract what you are, like attracts like, right? So it's so powerful just to stand tall and look people in the eye and feel joy in your life, even if it's for an hour. I mean, if you're going through something hard and strong and painful, then make it in increments. Okay, for 30 minutes, I'm going to put a smile on my face.
I love that.
See how that attracts people. I mean, to take somebody who's deep in pain and say, just go out into the world and be happy is not, realistic. But if they can take it in chunks of increments and watch slowly when you increase those chunks of peace and joy, how that attracts your life. I talk about it in my book about an epiphany I experienced in 5th grade that taught me this, of watching somebody being bullied. And I wasn't being bullied at that point. And why wasn't I? Because I didn't bully myself.
I get that. You really got to be your best friend, and you can't be a victim. And as we kind of close out today's show, I do want to kind of ask you, what does living full out mean to you? Because you've really gone beyond that fire. You took your power back. You've paid it forward.
Yes, I think it's really about embracing what we have, where we are. Not living in the past, not living in the present, or not living in the future, but really staying in the moment and finding that calm within the chaos. Because, there's a lot of chaos out there. You can really live full out inside.
I love that. And your voice is so calming. I could listen to you for another hour. It's good. I like it. So
Thank
you so much, Lisa, for coming on today's show and sharing with us your story. And, everybody listening, just Google her name. She's out there. She's been interviewed a lot. So we appreciate you taking time with us, and we wish you all the best today.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I really appreciate you giving me this time.
Absolutely. Thank you. And go out there, live full out, and, inspire more young girls, as I know you will. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. And for everybody listening today, it is about figuring out what is that source of pain that you're going through. How can we take that and bring purpose into your life and take that power back? And just like she did, look at that fire and say, you don't own me. I'm going to be better and stronger and more confident. That is what it means to live full out. So stay with us. We are going to be taking your calls when we come back. I'm Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show. It's all about taking your pain and turning it into a life of purpose. Stay with us.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. So many comments on my comment.
Hey, guys, check out my new video game.
Mom, what?
Huh?
Pew, pew. What'd you say?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Thanks for asking, but I'd rather not send you nude pictures. I'm camera shy. I already said no. It's against my religion. I'm giving my dog a bath. You can have pictures of that. Pressure gives me hives. Under my clothes, I'm a robot. Hold on, let me ask my mom. Sorry, my webcam is broken. I'm worried they'll get passed around school. Unfortunately, I just had my clothes surgically attached to my body. If they got out, I might never be president. I'm already naked, under my clothes. Not even if you were all three Jonas Brothers. I have a rash. I have nudophobia. I have lizard skin. The more you ask, the less I want to. You're not the boss of me. Nudity makes me vomit. I'm a vampire, so I don't show up in pictures anyways. Your badgering has really killed the mood.
When someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to, how many ways can you say no before they get the message? Let us know at that'snotcool.com. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm fleece on a
I
cold
want to be
day.
a football
I want to be
stadium.
a bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Well, I finally did it. My student loan is totally paid off.
What?
What about our plan to win the lottery and start living? You know, travel the world on matching yachts, wear enough jewelry to require a bodyguard, vacation on the French Riviera, and then buy it.
You know we're never going to win the lottery, right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
As you struggle through a pain, you want to identify what are you learning from that? How did you get through it? And when you gather all of these insights, and maybe it happens over a week, a month, or even years, then you want to be able to give that to somebody else who's also going through the same encounter. That is what it means to live full out.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. Nancy is here as a guide to show you how to rise above obstacles and savor each moment. If you have a question, call in live at 800-333-0001. That's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we've been talking about taking the pains, the stresses, the burdens in our life, and not just giving our power away to them, but figure out how we can channel that into a greater good, how we can pay it forward, how we can make a difference in making somebody else's life easier once you've kind of gone through it and cracked the code on how to survive, how to rebuild and so forth. That is really the quest of life. And I also believe that if you're struggling right now, look to those in your life who maybe have gone through similar circumstances and ask them, how did you get through it? What resources did you turn to? One of the greatest things about life is we're really not alone. Well, we all have different walks. It's not exactly the same footprint that we walk in for each of us. We're all very similar. We're connected and in those shared experiences. So I just encourage you today to open your heart just even bigger. Kind of look at the people in your life that may be struggling and reach out your hand by phone, in person, see how you can help. Or if you're struggling right now and you're feeling burdened or worried, think about who in your life would best identify with what you're going through and then reach out to them. The loneliness factor is something that can limit our ability to live full out, can depower us. But when we step up, that's when we get our confidence back, our strength. So I'm getting word from our producer that we do have a caller on the line. We're going to go say hello to them. Hi, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi, this is Lucia.
Hi there. How can we help you today?
So I had a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, my mother started dating this guy about a year ago. And over the last year, her personality has been changing a lot because of him. And so her priority is kind of seeing him and not her kids as much. So I was wondering how you think I should address this with her without making her feel like maybe she's like not being a good mom or just, is putting like her priorities out of place.
Well, when it really comes down to it, you miss her, right?
Sorry?
When it really comes down to it, you miss her. You miss that bond with her. And so I'm a firm believer in not talking at somebody, but talking with somebody. And sometimes if you're telling her you've changed or, he's making you change, then you're talking at somebody. So, and also what you want to consider is what is the best delivery method for her to really get what you're saying. So if you've been trying to talk to her on the phone or talk to her in person, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, I have, but sometimes we get nervous, right? And then after we have the conversation, we're like, I didn't say what I really wanted to say, right? So maybe consider writing her a letter. Maybe consider in this day and age taking your phone and doing a video. And honestly, in that video, if you cry, you cry. Like in moments like this is your mom. This is your relationship with her, and you got to fight for it. And then the last thing I want to say is it's all about negotiations, right? Because she does have to balance that relationship with her children. But what you want to really do is carve out some special time. So is there something that you and her would oftentimes do together? Try to make a dedicated date for that, once a week, once a month. A lot of parents and kids get together for breakfasts. They have their dinner once a week. Yeah. Or, my mom and I, we get together by phone and we watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, right? She pours her wine, I pour mine, right? So I think you just got to think about, how can you keep that relationship strong? So those are my suggestions. And do you think that will help?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, listen, I'm going to wish you all the best because I love mothers and daughters. I love that relationship. So go out there and take a stand for it. Go get it. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I love that she asked that question, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but I hear that pain. I hear that she's missing her. But the beauty is it is never too late to fight for a relationship. If you have a relative that you love, go get them. If you have a relationship that you're longing for, go get it. That tenacity, that fire, that vigor, that is what it means to live full out. So I want to thank everybody for listening today. We've been talking about taking pain and turning it into purpose, and I know it seems daunting sometimes, but you know what? I want you to get excited about it. If you're dealing with a health issue, if it's, again, financial or matters of the heart, just say, you know what? I'm bigger. I'm better than this. And I'm going to fight for my life. I'm going to get back on track. And if you need me, I am here for you. Reach out to us at connect@livingfullout.com. Also, feel free to hear the show again by going to livingfullout.com or check us out by going to the app stores. Just look out for Living Full Out Radio or Alexa. However we can inspire you, we want to. But most of all, I want you to go out there and live big. Live full out in the best way you can. Until then, here's to you living your life full out.
Thank you for listening to the Living Full Out Show with Nancy Solari. To learn more about this program, visit livingfullout.com for the latest episodes. Connect with the Living Full Out community by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you have an inspirational story you want to share, email us at connect@livingfullout.com. Here's to you, living full out.